it's me, FemShep, and it is time for the monthly replay reviews for my channel members. And this is the first time ever that I've had more than two. I got a third one this month. Thank you, Astra. I'm really excited. But it is becoming a lot to juggle, so I'm gonna start combining these all into one video of just the month's replay reviews and trying to give everybody an equal amount of feedback. If it becomes difficult to get through 2 replays a person and include it all in one video, I may reduce it down to 1 replay just to make sure I can give you the detailed feedback that you want. But at least this month, Shaq only gave us 1 replay, and he said that he made this Luke one and done at the speed of light and wants to know why. So that should speed things up a little bit. I'm actually going to start with Shaq, then I think I'm going to go to Ragnarok, and then close it out with Astra. Astra, I should be making you pay extra for making me watch Guile. Anybody who follows this channel knows I hate that sauceless white bread gremlin. But for channel members, I will support the Guile community. So let's start with Shaq. And let's see how it is that he made this Luke run screaming back to the ranked queue. I'm gonna watch this once without any commentary just to get an idea of what we're looking at, and then we'll come back and analyze.
Let me have some fun. Round 1. Fight. Let's go! Round 2. Fight!
You're good, but not good enough.
Final round. Fight! Tesla! Tesla!
Gotcha! Eh?
Tesla!
Hatoken! Gotcha! My turn!
Tesla! Fighting uppercut!
Yep! Hi!
Fighting uppercut!
Yep! Stay down! Locked in!
Where you go? Let's wrap this up! Whoops! Mine wins!
Show me.
Okay,
Round 1.
so let me just start by saying it is extremely noticeable that you are playing Mai at a diamond level now, where the last time I did a replay review, you were in platinum level. The main pieces of advice I had given you were that you weren't using your normals and you were kind of just only mashing lights in exchanges in neutral, that you needed to abuse OD fan more, and that you needed to be a little more active in general, as well as looking for hit confirms in your combos. All of those things are visible in this match. And I think if I had to pick one thing that probably made this Luke quit on you, other than the fact that you play Mai, and everybody hates Mai right now, it's the fact that you were good at spacing your buttons in neutral so that when he wanted to do things, he got counter hit a lot. And when you feel like you can't do anything and you just keep getting interrupted, it's easy to get really, really frustrated and just want to quit. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Getting into this, you immediately start walking forward instead of walking back, and you go for parry on the fireball. Awesome. You continue walking him down, you throw out a safe poke that's only -3 on block. Awesome. You did try to press when you were negative. That's something you want to make sure you're aware of. Here, a button can be safe and be a good idea and still be the end of your turn. If you want to do something after a button that's -3, okay, the TLDR on frame data. Fastest buttons in the game are 4-frame jabs. So if you're -4, they can jab you and punish you. If you're -3 or less, the button's quote-unquote safe. So he can't punish you for hitting this button by hitting his fastest button. But if you're -3, anything they do that's reasonably fast is gonna hit you if you try to keep pressing when your turn by the math is over. So if you're gonna press a -3 button, either stop pressing afterwards and recognize that your turn is over, or you can try to steal a turn by tapping parry to catch them hitting you, maybe get a perfect parry. Go for ODDP or super if you want to take a huge risk and say, no, it's still my turn and you have to hold that. In general, I would say when you're -3, just block and recognize that your turn is over, because you proceeded to try to press a light punch into a medium kick here, and because you were -3, his light into medium beat your light into medium because it was his turn.
Where you going? Go to sleep.
More abuse of the OD fans. I think you can use it from further away because up close there's more of a risk of them jumping over it, but I like that you're abusing it more because it's a really broken tool right now. You want to be a little more careful with the range that you're throwing that kick out, because if he were really on it and looking to whiff punish you, this is the perfect situation for him right here to swing with the heavy and get a huge combo. But this is a good thing, because before the problem is that you weren't using all of your buttons. Now you are using all of your buttons, and sometimes you're using them at the wrong spacing. So you're developing new mistakes by correcting for your old mistakes, which is exactly how progressing as a player is supposed to work. But you definitely want to be aware of the ranges at which you're pressing these bigger buttons, because that would be very whiff punishable if this loop were more confident whiff punishing instead of just trying to walk at you. But again, you're pressing more normals in general at ranges where they're gonna hit, and that's really good. You definitely want to be aware more of when your turn is over and not just continuing to press because you're in range. You know, look at the frame data of your moves a little bit. If you want to be real sweaty, because I'm a sweat, I'm not judging, there's an app called the Frame Assistant tool that you can get on Apple or Android. It'll come up as Fat App, and it's got full frame data in your pocket for every single character in this game. It is so invaluable as a resource, because then even when you're off the game, you can just look at your character's buttons and study, okay, this one's really plus, so I can do more. This one's really negative, and so it's punishable if I throw it out at the wrong time. It also lets you add modifiers like drive rush or punish counter to see how that would affect the frame data. So if you're still not confident calculating that in your head, that's really helpful. But I digress. Pressing more of your normals is good. Knowing when and at what ranges to press them is definitely going to be the next step. That's another example there of you pressed a button. Let's see, I'm trying to rewind this just like half an interaction. Okay, you are plus here. You're plus 12 after the second fan hit. So you could actually pressure with a bigger button here, but the jab's okay. If that jab had hit and you'd gone into a light string that you confirmed into a combo, then you would have been able to continue pressing. But because the jab was blocked and it looks like you went for a medium punch after the jab, there's a big gap between a light and a medium on block. And that's why you're getting hit here. You need to keep your pressure a little tighter on block. If you're plus and you decide, okay, I'm going to continue pressuring with lights, you kind of want to do light, 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 and then if you see that the string connected, end it with a special move, or end it with something safe. For starters, I would say just doing a light string and stopping if it doesn't hit, or confirming into a special if it does hit is the move. But going light into medium on block here is a little reckless when he's shown you that he interrupts you a lot with his fast buttons if you leave gaps. That was awesome. It definitely looks like a bit of an accidental whiff punish, but you got the punish. This is where you gotta keep labbing your hit confirms, because that's a really good whiff punish button, but when you see punish counter pop up and you hear that kaboom noise, you need to automatically go into your combo. Because if you'd gone into a combo here, you would have put him in the corner, almost in burnout with no super. But you unfortunately didn't confirm this into anything. That's another example of you pressed a good button at a dangerous range. Sweeps in general are really risky though. I really wouldn't go for sweep unless they've shown you they're walking back and forth a lot, because sweeps are really punishable. This is what I mean though, is like you are actually like pressing buttons in his face that prevent him from just walking up and pressing buttons. And then once he goes, okay, I can't just walk up at you and press buttons because you'll hit me, you abuse the fact that you've conditioned him to block, to walk forward and throw. Before, you were just trying to walk forward and throw all the time to get your pressure started. Now you're forcing them to block before you go for the throw, which is great.
Stay down. My turn.
It's generally the same principles all the rest of the way through this, and I don't want to microanalyze every single interaction, so I am going to kind of try to power through the rest of this. That was risky burnout there. You do have super, so you have some reversal, but I would not have necessarily burnt yourself out there when he has super and meter. But you're still poking him, you're forcing him to respect your space. What happened here? That's another reason I think he might have rage quit on you. You should not have been mashing lights on your wake up in a lot of these situations where it worked out, honestly. If he had done his meaty oki correctly, he would have hit you and killed you like 9 out of 10 times that you mashed lights in this set. He probably quit on you at least partially because he's frustrated with himself that he messed up his guaranteed setups, because you mashing on wake up and getting combos really wouldn't have been happening if he was doing what he was supposed to do. That's only good if the person has shown you that they're doing fake stuff on your wake up, or that they tend to mess up their oki. So in this case, after it worked out for you this one time, I wouldn't have done it, but after it worked out for you this one time, continuing to do it isn't a bad idea, because this player has shown you they're not being true with their meaties. This is one of several situations in the set where I want you to be more aware of chip damage as a possibility. Because since he is in burnout here, unless he supers, if you do an ODDP even on block here, he dies because of chip damage. So don't miss your opportunities to confirm a kill off a chip. In fact, if I back this up a little bit, there might have been a way to route into level 1 there to kill, I don't know, but if you couldn't route into super to kill, you definitely could have chipped him out afterwards. A level 1 here would have been a guaranteed chip kill, an ODDP would have been a guaranteed chip kill unless he immediately supered, because those both beat jumps too.
Round 2.
And so it continues to kind of be the same story of you controlling space a lot better than you were. You prevent him walking at you by pressing buttons when he gets too close. He burnt a lot of meter and then dropped his combo. That's got to be tilting. And there you again mashed on wake up. You messed up your confirm there, but he dropped his combo after he spent all his meter. And then when he tried to continue his pressure on follow-up, you mashed out of it. Like, I can understand why this guy was mad.
Stay down. Hi.
You also had very good reads with when you jumped intentionally over fireballs instead of just random jumping all the time. Doing great with parrying the fireballs. We'd love to see it. And look at you dashing in behind the fan to get your pressure going. That is exactly how you want to play as Mai. You did spend too much meter here. If you look, he's got 3 bars of super and almost a full log of green there. And you have almost no super meter, and it is the very beginning of the round. So be a little less reckless with your drive meter. Granted, he's being equally reckless with his drive meter, so you got away with it. Oh, that's an unfortunate whiff from him. That's another, you have a lot of these situations where you do 2 lights, they hit, you didn't realize they hit, and then you walk up and throw them. Work on confirming your light strings into hits. I mean, into combos. We got the level 1! I was telling you last time that you gotta abuse the power of the level 1 more often, especially with how much it makes for corner pressure. Absolutely degenerate. We love to see it. You're again pressing light into medium, which is not real on block. This is another situation where you could have chipped him out afterwards. I know you win the game, but if you had done a button on block into super here, it would have been, like, if he blocked, basically, you put him in a situation here where, unless he supers on wake up, he is guaranteed dead if you do a normal canceled into level 3 on his block, or even into level 1 because of chip damage. So this would have been a much worse situation for him if you realized that. But definitely big ups. I'm seeing really distinct improvements from you. I'm sure you're really excited to have hit Diamond. I know I was when I hit Diamond. Keep on it. We love to see it. All right, moving on to Ragnarok with the modern Ken. This is a character that I actually play, so I can get a little more into the weeds with the specifics. I'm going to focus more on one replay and then kind of see how those patterns tend to repeat in the second replay. And we just watched a bunch of Mai, so let's go with the ad.
Let's go! Ring the bell!
Don't expect me to be a pushover.
Round 1. Fight! Get ready! Shoryuken! Hadouken! Big back! How's this? Damn! Big back! Hadouken! How's this? Shoryuken! Hadouken! How's this? Shoryuken! Hadouken!
I think I'm going to take this one round at a time because there's a lot happening here.
Let's go! Ring the bell! Round 1.
Okay. So starting out, you didn't check the round start drive rush. It happens. In a perfect world, you would have thrown out a stand medium kick, a crouch medium kick, and checked him the second he turned green. But you weren't ready. It happens.
Shoryuken!
Your anti-airs are super on point, and people can be like, oh, it's modern. You still have to react. Good job on the anti-airs. Didn't react to the DI either. Maybe just lab your reactions a little bit. I've been running drills myself to just kind of set a bot to rotate between different options at random and see if I can respond to those different options. But some of that is just going to come from playing the game more too. So don't be too hard on yourself about things like not reacting to a DI. A DI is less than half a second. It is 26 frames and there are 60 frames per second. So it is harder to react to than you might think. It's okay. You walk back almost all the way to the corner and then go for a heavy Dragon Lash. You go for a heavy Dragon Lash like 5 times in this one round. And it is okay as an occasional neutral skip, but it's extremely risky as a constant neutral skip because Ed here could have perfect parried, could have DP'd, or could have even jabbed you or drive impacted you out of this Dragon Lash if he were ready. And especially with how many times you were doing it, he really should have. You also went for a 5 frame after the Dragon Lash was blocked. How plus were you here? I'm trying to remember which one's +2 versus +1. Because it changes depending on if they were crouching. I don't know why it's not popping up. Oh, it is +2, yeah. You were +2. Okay, so a 5 frame would it be to 4 frame? Yeah, not a bad idea to go for the light auto combo here. I would not have necessarily gone for the overhead because the low would have been guaranteed. If Jinrai hits them when they were crouching, you want to end with Jinrai low because the overhead or the heavy ender both whiff over their head. But you hit him. DI again, alright. You could have DP'd that, but most of your anti-airs are on point. I think I saw a delay tech there. Oh wait, I'm looking at his inputs, not your inputs. What did you do on wake up here? Yeah, you did do a delay tech. Good defensive choice there. And honestly, not a bad place to DP here either, because you had meter to spend, and Ed is very likely to do something after he pulls you in with the Snatcher. So he spent 2, you spent 2, not the end of the world. It does put you in the orange, which isn't super great, but I don't hate the spend. Again with the Dragon Lash, and also you're not making him guess afterwards. You always go for the light kick after the Dragon Lash. If you're gonna use a tool that often, you have to vary what you do after the tool. You could also throw him, or you could neutral jump to try to punish him potentially trying to throw tech after the Dragon Lash if you've been throwing him. But always doing the same neutral skip into the same pressure is gonna get you punished by people who adapt faster than this guy did. Good anti-air. Just in general, do not do the light auto combo on block by itself. It's very punishable, and you're not going to get a lot off of it on hit. If you're trying to pressure them, just standing in front of them like this, this is where, again, you want to be doing your stand heavy punch, which you see more of later in this round. Again, the Dragon Lash. That time you went for the throw follow-up, though. That's good variance. Here, you start going for the stand heavy punch instead of spamming the light auto combo, which is great. And you actually are able to get him to whiff this drive reversal, but you don't punish it. If you see somebody whiff something big like that in front of your face, another stand heavy punch into like run the stand heavy punch into run DP probably would have hit, but if you're too far for the stand heavy punch, even just a stand heavy kick run DP here would have punish countered him. Good anti-air. Don't jump at people when they're already in the corner. I've mentioned this in a couple replay reviews for different people. I don't know why sometimes it's so tempting to jump at somebody even when you have them cornered. They're like, gorilla brain in every single Street Fighter player, myself included, is just like, I'm coming for you. But you gave up the corner here. You put yourself in the corner. And then you mashed an auto combo in a panic, where if you had been more intentional with your buttons here, you had a full stick of butter. You had full drive meter. You could have confirmed this into drive rush cancels, into a full-blown kill after you realized that the medium punch connected. And I actually can demonstrate that since you're on modern and I know this character. Oop. It's a little hard to do in the timing of the... That would have been the move. Yeah, you definitely just kind of panicked mashed there. You didn't even do a run ender. There was some panic. I wouldn't continue jumping at him either, because he hasn't really been doing a lot of fireballs. Jumping isn't really going to beat anything he's doing. You're just giving him the chance to anti-air you and, like, survive. He's just not good at dealing with cross-up jumps. And he then dies. To, I think that was Chip. Yeah, it was Chip. You didn't actually hit him with the cross-cut.
Round 2. Fight.
Walking back a lot. Then you move in behind the fireball. That's really, really good. But you definitely want to have more of that forward movement. That is exactly what I was just talking about. That if you keep using the heavy Dragon Lash, it's super punishable. Now, he already knows you're going to do that if he waits long enough, so he drive impact. That was really good. You did your poke with the light kick without spamming it into the whole light auto combo. Light kick is a really good button all by itself, so that's a really good thing to remember to do. I know when I first went back to Modern Ken, I was spamming the whole auto combo a lot, but just the light kick is such a good button. Now you're walking him down. Hell yeah. But you jump. You could have just kept walking. Just keep walking. Have confidence in yourself to walk them down like the Terminator. You do not need to jump. You gotta stop the Dragon Lash. But we're varying the follow-ups, okay. I like that you're fishing with the stand heavy punch. I feel like you might be looking for the counter hit and punish counter confirms into light kick or crouch medium kick respectively that I talked about the last time I reviewed your Ken. But you're not reacting to the hit confirm yet. And so you have the right idea, you just don't have the reactions yet. So that's just something you can continue to lab. And you could have DI'd back there, too. You definitely had time to DI back there. And could you have killed? I don't think you could have killed. But now I'm really curious. Oh yeah, no, that's nowhere near killing because of the scaling. I don't know why I thought that. Yeah, and he's above 50% health. I just had a moment of like, maybe. No. Oh, hey, you did react. It was just a little bit too late. So you're getting it. And there, I think you just didn't know what combo to do. And that's, if you want to keep it easy, you can just do stand heavy punch, run DP. If you want to work on integrating your motion inputs, then you want to do stand heavy punch, heavy Jinrai, heavy ender, light DP. Now we're spamming the light auto combo again, and here it gets you punished because DI will beat spamming the Jinrai recklessly. So you're kind of seeing the same problem here that you are with the Dragon Lash. Alright, level 3. And the same thing happens. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be the same story in round 3. that your main problems are jumping too much, not walking forward enough, committing to the light auto combo in full too often, and not utilizing confirms off your stand heavy punch enough. Oh, and the heavy Dragon Lash spam definitely has to stop, because if you use that more than occasionally, it's very readable. And that's why he's drive impacting you so much. Ah, you just hit a button that didn't quite reach for the punish. That's unfortunate. Still spamming the light auto combo. And see, now you're getting interrupted even by fireballs off the heavy Dragon Lash because you use it too much. And part of the reason you're so tempted to use it so much is that you keep walking yourself full screen, and that's the fastest way to get in. If you walk forward more often, you're going to be less tempted to neutral skip with the Dragon Lash because you're actually almost in range to do something without it. The jumping. Yeah, there's so much jumping here and not a lot of hit confirms. Oh, and that was another opportunity where if you had registered that the jump in hit here, this was kill range. You want to make sure that you're looking at your resources so that you can confirm when you do get the hit if it can end the game, because you should have won right here. Maybe doesn't quite kill. But it would have left him in a basically guess for game situation. Does leave you with no meter though, so maybe wouldn't have been the best cash out opportunity. At the very least, I would have cashed out into level 3 like partially. And then you would have still had meter after this and put him in a terrible situation, but you're just holding on to all your resources. Yeah, that does almost as much damage and still leaves you with almost full drive meter. That would have been the move. You also keep doing target combo into DP. You want to hit the auto combo one more time so that you get medium punch, heavy punch, run before you press DP, because then you'll get run DP instead of just raw DP. That was a good hit confirm, and you got him. So yeah, I'm definitely seeing improvements. You're using light kick by itself more. You stopped spamming fireballs, which is great. Your anti-airs are really on point. You're fishing with the stand heavy punch more often. You just got to clean up some of the habits that you tend to spam that are punishable, and have the confidence to walk forward and to confirm your hits into more damage. I'm guessing it's going to be the same story with Mai here. I had to kind of speed through the second one.
Round 1. Fight.
You could have anti-aired that, but dive kicks can be weird to react to, I get it. Yeah, the jumping's getting you killed. Not a bad DP. But you're letting her have like full screen and throwing fireballs again. It seems like when you fight characters that have really good fireballs, you start fireballing more from full screen because you're like afraid of their fireballs. Where the counterplay is to get close enough that they have to stop spamming fireballs, or use your OD fireball and drive rush behind it to beat their fireball and get pressure. But just standing at full screen and throwing fireballs back and forth isn't going to get you anything. Jump's getting you killed. And you just don't react to the DI.
Round 2.
Definitely want to make sure you're checking drive rush too. Literally, if you want to just program a bot to only drive rush and just practice what your drive rush check is, crouch medium kick is going to be your best check a lot of the time, sometimes even stand light kick. But you got to be checking the drive rush. You don't want to just let them turn green at you for free. Spamming the auto combo, the light auto combo there again in your inputs. Oh, it was an unfortunate drop from her. If they're already in the corner and you get a target combo punish, I would have done into run Dragon Lash for the side swap instead of run Tatsu. Because this takes her almost to the corner, but a side swap would have taken her all the way to the corner. Hey, you got the double dash, Oki. That isn't actually a meaty after the double dash, but like you had the right idea. That was actually a good jump. That one was really good. You're jumping her in the corner again. Good anti-air. You gotta stop jumping. The OD fireball is to beat them if they're throwing fireballs. Right now, she's not throwing fireballs. She's in the air. So focus on your anti-airs if they're not throwing fireballs. Oh, bad drop from her. That must have been a missed input. I'm not sure what you were going for there, but you could have killed if you'd done a different route. If you wait for the dive kick to almost hit you, you can just DP when she does dive kick. Like that. Or, hey, you're modern. You actually could even, like, super the dive kick. Oop. Where's my directions? There. Oh, you don't have level 3, that's why. That's a little more finicky. Honestly, I would have just DP'd it. But you can DP the dive kick. You gotta just walk forward and press buttons. Because repeatedly jumping at them is only gonna work as long as they don't anti-air. And you're really afraid to just walk forward and press that stand heavy punch. And it is such a good button. You gotta believe in it a little bit more. That was a read of a jump over the fireball. That was good. You're still throwing fireballs when she's not throwing fireballs and getting jumped on for it. Oh, that was weird. Yeah, this is pretty much just the same story of you getting some good reads on the jumps. If you were gonna spend here, oh, what a freeze frame. If you were gonna spend here, if you had done one drive rush cancel, you would have done a little bit more damage and you would have gotten 2 of the 3 bars back during the level 3 animation. So maybe you could have spent a bit, but I'd like to spend regardless. Could have killed if you'd done a different conversion there. So yeah, conversions, stop jumping, walk forward, stand heavy punch, work on your hit confirms off your stand heavy punch. Don't spam light auto combo and heavy Dragon Lash so much. The anti-airs are really good. The fact that you're using more of your buttons is really, really good. And you did have some good reads with the jumps when you had a reason to think she was going to throw a fireball. Pay attention to if they're doing fireballs or not when you are deciding whether or not to jump or to fireball in return. Alright, let me see how much. Alright, we are at 40 minutes. I might actually be able to fit these all in 1 hour long video, which is the limit for recording on PS5. So that would be sick. We are going into Guile.
Let's get this mission started.
This will be a good fight.
Round 1. Fight.
I feel like this is going to be a lot of really individual interactions because Guile's playstyle is like, I don't know how to explain it, like chunky. It's very much like a linear game plan. fireball, anti-air, normals. Like, he is the archetype. So I'm gonna kind of go through this one interaction at a time. The hesitate into beat fireball with OD fireball is great. A Guile can win fireball wars a lot, and spending meter when you have this much meter to spend is a good idea. That is a really good range to throw a fireball because of the fact that when he tries to jump this fireball, you still have time to flash kick. You could have anti-aired this jump in and put him back in the same situation. When you are throwing fireballs as Guile, your two main priorities need to be, am I at a safe distance to where they can't just jump on me? Or have I at least varied my pattern enough that they're not gonna wanna risk jumping on me? And if they do jump, am I holding charge and ready to anti-air? I would make sure that when you are doing your jump-ins, if you are going to hit another normal after your jump-in, it should be a normal that would combo off the jump-in if it connected. So here, you got the hit, but then you hit another button and it doesn't combo. Pick a button to hit after your jump-in that would combo, but then if they block the whole thing, it's not the end of the world. That is a good example of throwing fireballs at the wrong range, because he's so close to you here that he can just jump and punish you for it. The range at which you want to throw fireballs is like exactly where he jumped earlier in the round. Like 3/4 screen is your pocket. Because the idea of the fireball isn't really to hit them with the fireball, it's to make them think, I should jump, and then knock them out of the air. And then they get so annoyed that they start making worse and worse decisions, and they basically kill themselves for you. This is like the first knockdown you've had in the set, and you immediately go nuclear and go for ODDP. In general, on your first wake up, I would just block and see what they do. If you just block, the worst thing that happens to you is they throw you for 1200 damage. And then you know, this person likes to throw me on my wake up. Here, you're gonna take way more than 1200 damage, and you spent 2 bars of drive, and you're gonna lose another one from the punish counter in order to find out the same information. The risk reward is not in your favor to go for ODDP like the first time you get knocked down. He should have DP'd you there and he panicked and drive reversaled. So now he's in burnout. So if you can get the side switch, you could 100% turn this around. Okay, you're mashing. Oh wait, no, I was looking at his inputs. Hang on. What are you doing on wake up? Okay, you hold up and then you try to mash crouch jab. These are two very tempting options when you're put on defense, because you just want to get out. So your thought is either I'm gonna jump out or I'm gonna fight my way out. Your safest option for fighting your way out of the corner is block. And you might think, how am I ever gonna get out if I'm just blocking? He can only hit you with so many buttons when you are blocking before hitting you pushes him farther away from you. Maximum like 3 lights or 2 lights into a fake medium. And after he hits a certain amount of buttons, unless he went to throw you, he's further away from you. So then if he wants to keep doing stuff to you, he has to walk up to you again. And if he's walking up to you, you can hit him. So you really just want to sit and block on your wake up more often than not. That's already the biggest theme I'm seeing of your gameplay in this first round, is that you will not block on wake up. You will reversal, you will mash, or you will jump, but by God, you do not want to block. And if you have more confidence in your ability to turn the round around and are willing to block, he's in a bad situation here. He doesn't even have resources. He doesn't even have super to spend on a drive rush cancel. The most he could do to you here, if you just block, is try to throw loop you. And you have a lot of health to take a lot of throws before you die. So you could have just let him hit his couple of buttons on block or go for a throw and then reassess. But you hand him the round by panicking. And there it is again. Ooh, he dropped it. Ooh. Oh my god, do you win this round? Wow, that was a hard read. That was kind of nuts.
Round 2. Fight.
In general, I would say Guile is not a character that wants to be jumping at people. Because in order for Guile to do a lot of his stuff, he needs to be holding down back, he needs to be charging. So if you're jumping, you're not charging, and you don't have access to your charged moves. At round start here, what you did in the first round, where you kind of waited to see what he was gonna do, you blocked the fireball and then you played Fireball Wars, that was really good. You immediately going for a jump here is just giving him the opportunity to anti-air you and put you on defense. He screws up his anti-air and you get lucky, but if he DP'd you, this would not have worked out. Fireball Drive Rush, hell yeah, we love to see it. That is another big part of your kit, is that you can drive rush behind the fireball to get your pressure, and you drive rush into your crouch medium kick here. It is important to note, Guile's drive rush crouch medium kick is not super plus. You are only +1 here. So you can absolutely continue pressing after this if they don't know, and most people will not know. But if they start mashing because they know you're not actually plus enough to do a big button after this, then you have to start varying your response a bit. He doesn't know. Good job. Good job. Bad fireball. You do not want a fireball when you're in their face. It's all about spacing it out. Great perfect parry. Damn. Good fireball game going again. You know what? I don't hate that jump because you baited him into playing Fireball Wars with you and then you jumped over his fireball. I actually kind of like that one. All right, he's in a great situation here. You're gonna burn him out? Oh no, okay. That's just a little bit of micro spacing. It happens. There you play really patient for half a second and I'm like, awesome, you're not panicking on defense, and then you go for DI. You have the advantage. Just wait, just wait. You don't have to commit to a nuclear option. That was wild. If he had done level 2, I believe you would have lost because level 2 beats fireballs, but level 1 loses to fireballs. Good DP. Great job saving your meter by dashing up instead of doing a drive rush when you're low on drive meter. Good punish on the Denjin. Yeah, you have a generally solid baseline Guile game plan here. Your actual offense is very good. The main problems in your offense are jumping when you don't have to and throwing fireballs at close range. But most of the reason you're struggling in this match is because you completely freak out on defense. If you just straight up stop hitting buttons on defense, your win rate's gonna skyrocket. Immediate jump out. Like, just wait and see what he does. That was a crazy DI. And you immediately start jumping and reversaling again. Yeah. The win condition for people to beat you right now is just to knock you down once. And then they can just let you freak out and make punishable decisions. If you stop freaking out when you get knocked down, you're going to be absolutely back up to 1500 MR minimum, like very fast. All right, where are we at? We got another 10 minutes before the hour limit. Let's see if we can get through the last replay. I think I remember fighting this guy on ranked quite a bit when I was in your current MR. Particularly when I was ranking up Ken to 1600 recently. Your game plan's gonna look a little different versus Terry. I don't play Guile or Terry, so I can't really give you specific Guile-Terry matchup guidance. But it is worth noting that because Terry's fireball is strange and can beat your fireball instead of you beating his fireball, you can't rely on the OD fireball as much as you did against Ryu. Nice. About here. Maybe a little bit closer on screen space. If you took like 2 steps forward, this is the range at which I'm talking about is ideal for you to play your fireball game. Fireball drive rush, we love to see ya. See what he does. Parry the fireball. You're really good at parrying projectiles on defense, which is great. That is actually a really good place to mash a light if he shows you he likes to crack shoot a lot. That was solid. I need to do that more myself. Jumping a little more against Terry might not be so bad if you could read the fireball. That was just you misspaced your button. You're playing much more patient defense here. I don't know if you were particularly nervous against Ryu or what, but your defense is a lot better in this one. You, I think, are just getting read a little bit about when you like to force your way in. Like, your pattern is fireball, fireball again, and then if you still haven't gotten a hit, you jump or you drive rush. And you pretty much do that every time. You see, that jump was better, and it is because you waited for half a second first. You waited and blocked, you saw an opportunity to jump out, and you jumped out. But if you're just guessing jump frame 1 when you get off the ground, you don't have the opportunity to make that educated decision. Wall splat. I don't think you want to start a combo with a drive rush after you wall splat them, and you could start the combo with a jump in, but I don't know Guile's routes. Oh, you dropped the boom loop. That sucks. And here again is where his fireball can kind of go under yours, and it makes Fireball Wars weird. Crazy read on the DI. Yeah, you're doing a lot of like full screen options to kind of force your way in. Fireball drive rush sometimes is good. Jump as a hard read on a fireball is good. But Guile doesn't want to be in Terry's face. This place you've put yourself now, you spent 2 bars of drive to put Terry in a better position against you. You want to keep him over there and make him come to you. He can do his fireball all day long. You can just parry that and throw yours sometimes and kind of go back and forth with him and make him come to you. You don't have to force your way in. What did you press? Crouch light kick. Yeah, when you're, wait, no, that's him. Your inputs. Oh, you also pressed crouch light kick. Yeah, you want to make sure that when you are in their face and you're kind of exchanging pokes that you're pressing buttons that are going to reach, because a lot of times you're like not quite close enough for the button you're using to hit on block. I don't know what Guile's best combo starters are, but I would guess that likely using more heavy buttons in these exchanges, if they aren't interrupting them with lights, would be beneficial to you, because they can be hit confirmed into bigger combos and they reach further, so you aren't gonna get just hit out of your button because it didn't even reach. Yeah, a lot of times they're walking back and you're doing like jab, jab on block and then waiting, and that's smart. But then they're walking back a little and you're going for a really committal low right here. You don't always have to swing right away. And if you are gonna go for a low to catch the walk back, you have to either go for a longer low, like a sweep, or you gotta do it faster, because you're giving him a lot of time to walk back after your string. And there's the panic defense again. And he chips you out. I got 4 minutes left here on this recording. What can we do? Nice. That was a good read on the jump, actually. That again, you were at the perfect range to flash kick him. You just weren't ready. And you jump at him. And you got lucky because he tried to perfect parry the jump in instead of DPing. But jumping at people is not to your advantage as Guile. You definitely want to stop that. And you got lucky with the DI. You didn't kill? Oh no, that was a level 3 right there. Don't tell me you lose this. Don't tell me you lose this. No. No, 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 no. Don't lose this, please. Please, I believe. I'm rooting for a Guile. This one time, I'm rooting for a Guile. Chip him out. Chip him out. He's in burnout. Chip him out, please. Chip him out, please. Oh my god. Oh, thank goodness. All right. Huge shout out to all of my channel members at this level of support. If anyone else is interested in joining the monthly replay review, you can join the channel from the channel page on YouTube. I appreciate every single one of you. I really enjoy doing this. And if anybody in this group or otherwise is ever interested in having one-on-one coaching where you actually can talk to me directly and we can work stuff out together, I did open a Metafy. I've had, I think, 6 students so far and gotten some really encouraging feedback that it was really helpful, that they're going up in rank, that they feel like they understand why they were losing or how to win more often or their character's game plan, what have you. I'm really enjoying coaching. It's $30 an hour for formalized coaching, or it's, I believe, $15 a month to be in this monthly replay review outside of Metafy. So if you would like to be part of that, if you would like to give me the opportunity to teach, which is something I've increasingly really enjoyed doing, definitely hit me up about that. Thank you so much again, everybody. I find that I understand the game better more and more as I help other people improve their understanding of the game, because you only understand something as well as you can explain it to somebody else, is what my mother always used to say, and my mother's a teacher. This was really fun. And right under the wire, new month tomorrow, and Elena patch right around the corner. So get ready, everybody, because things are about to get nuts up in here. And with that, FemShep out.